On 13 here. So previously I had made a video or attempted to make a video on this Rantopad MXX keyboard, but the video didn't come out as well as I wanted to, and also after some inspection I found out this keyboard actually came with the red switches, despite me ordering the blue switches. So I'm going to be returning this one, and I just got in my replacement keyboard, which has got the blue switches. So I think we're going to do a direct comparison here, and I'll still give you the unboxing experience since I didn't do that on the previous keyboard because the video didn't come out very good. So we'll just open it up here. Now this is, again, it's a mechanical keyboard, but it has, I forgot what they are. It's basically knockoffs of Cherry MX switches. So they're not exactly the same, but they're very close in terms of, let's see, here we go. They're very close in terms of feel. They're just different in terms of price point, and that's really where you save the money, because it's pretty hard to get a, not impossible I guess, but pretty hard for the keyboard makers to sell you a keyboard for $89 some with all the features these have, and only get, and actually have Cherry MX switches, excuse me. Now this actually comes in a different box. I'll show you the other box. So with the other keyboard with the red switches, it came in this box here, and then it came with a black insert inner box. So this outer sleeves is kind of, I mean, it's not too bad. Some reviewers said it was kind of gross. I just think it looks kind of weird, but it's this neon green outer sleeve. This one comes in a very attractive sort of all blacked out design. You can sort of see the keyboard there on the front. It's much more conservative. I think it definitely looks nicer, so we'll just get into it. I don't want to talk about the box anymore. Alright, let's open this thing up. And you can see it says blue switch on there, so I definitely know this is actually the right thing. So I'm going to move this keyboard out of the way so we can get into this one. It's got two tabs on the bottom. Turn this around for you. New keyboard smell. Huh? It's pretty interesting. Now, exactly the same presentation as the other box. It shows that this is labeled as a USB cable. I don't think in the other one that was very clear, so took a little while for me to figure out where the cable was. But yeah, it just lifts out. Get these two little retaining cardboard pieces here. You've got your basic info and stuff, and key cap removal tool in here, and then the cable. So I'll go ahead and pull out the cable here. Again, it's really an attractive setup. There's not a whole lot in the box, and you know, it's like one of those. It's one of those boxes that's set up in a way that you can definitely remember how it all goes together. So if you ever want to put everything back together, it makes it pretty easy for that. So I'll just pull this out too, throw it to the side here. So there it is. It's the same deal with the blue deck, the aluminum magnesium alloy deck. I think that looks really good, especially since it's got the white illumination. So what happens is you get white keycap illumination, but then the deck makes the light look blue coming out from underneath the keycaps, and that really gives you a, I think it's quite a nice effect, because it effectively looks like it's got two different types of illumination, when really it only has one. Alright, so we're going to do a full-on comparison. These are the blue switches again, so they're going to be much louder. Although I feel like even the red switches, with the way these keycaps are, is pretty loud. So remember, up here, top, is, and I'll move the light so that you can kind of see the illumination there. The video is going to lag a little bit. My camera hates low light. But here you go. So this is going to be, I'm going to open up a notes file or something like that so that, I don't know, my keyboard actions don't accidentally stop this video recording. Okay, so this is the reds. I'm going to just do a test here. I'll move my the blue keyboard out of the way here. All right. So that's the red switches. And now we'll try the blues. Obviously not hooked up to anything, but we're just going to try the sound. So I think there's definitely a noticeable difference. So the reds have a different feeling. I think the blues have a much more satisfying, obviously, the click, and then you do have that tactile feedback that's more, because the reds, of course, are just straight linear. Not going to be as good for gaming, obviously, but again, I do a lot more typing than I do gaming, so for me, these make sense. And also, even when I'm gaming, I find that I lift my fingers all the way off the keys. You know, probably some like pro gamers are going to shit on me for that, but I do think that overall, for what I'm going to be using it for, this keyboard is going to be much nicer. And again, blues, reds. So the keycaps are quite noisy on these. That combined with the deck being metal, I guess it just makes them quite loud. But the blues for sure are really nice. And just to check, I'll move the light back over here, and we'll just pull off a couple keycaps here to just. Well, I'll just pull off the arrows keys. That makes it easy. But as you can see, blue switches there. So yeah, let me hook this up. And better yet, to make things easy, I'll just use the cable off of my current keyboard. We'll do that. All right. Shut it off. Hook it up to the blues. There we go. So I'm going to just check my system settings, because I don't know if you noticed on this keyboard, I actually switched around the because I use a Mac, I switched around the Windows key from the Alt key, and then I did some remapping to make the Windows key to make the Alt position key command, or no, excuse me, the Alt position I made command. And then I switched the Windows key here, and I made the Windows key on the other side Alt, or Option or whatever, just so that I could have it in the same place and have the Windows key look like a different symbol to remind me of like either the Apple or the command symbol, because having that as opposed to a word makes it a lot easier to look down and be like, that's where it is. Even if it's a second nature type thing, it's always good to have that. So I'm going to just check to see if the remapping is the same on this keyboard, or if I'm going to have to... Oh, it looks like it's exactly the same. So I'm not even going to have to remap anything. I can literally just move the keys I need to move here. Okay, let me move that off. Move that back over. And put that Windows key back on there. Okay. And then I will go ahead and move the light away just so that you can see the different illumination effects. So as you can see, this is the wave effect. There's a couple others. If I hit function and either page up or page down. So this is the, excuse me, my bad. Let me just open a text file here so that I can, again, not affect my video. All right, so this is the wave ripple from the ripple effect. I'll just call it that. So the keyboard backlights are currently off. If I tap a letter, the lights sort of resonate out from the point that which key I tapped. If I then go to the next one, I get a breathing effect. So as you can see, it just looks like it's breathing, but typing response doesn't change anything, as you can see. The next, obviously, the next effect that we're going to try is, let's see, And this one I think is this is the point trigger. So wherever you type, whatever letter you type, will briefly light up and fade out. So it's sort of like an aliasing effect. You know how on Microsoft Windows you can get like an effect where your cursor sort of lags behind and sort of aliases behind the wherever you're dragging it. Well, this is sort of a similar effect where if I'm typing something, whatever I typed will slowly fade out as I type it. Again, it's a cool effect, but I think if you're actually using the keyboard at night, it's pretty damn useless. The next one I think is the reverse. It'll dim the 6 keys surrounding whatever key you hit. So again, yeah, that's weird. Looks like the space bar got stuck there. Okay, well, anyway. Yeah, that must have been a fluke thing. It's not getting stuck anymore. But yeah, I don't want to keep this, I don't make this video too long, so we're just going to go through the last few of these effects here. I think this is just general illumination, and then if we hit it again, we're back to the breathing effect here. We'll go through these. But yes, for me, I'm going to just, what is it doing here? I think it doesn't like when I'm in text edit and I'm doing this function page up, page down thing. But anyway, so in conclusion, what do I think about this? I think it's better than the Reds for my purposes. Because again, I'm doing a lot of typing. And overall, I think that for 89 bucks, you really can't beat this. There are cheaper ones, but I think at that point you'd be sacrificing build quality. Whereas this, it honestly feels like a really solid keyboard. And it's just very well put together. It's something that I would expect in something that's at least, you know, in excess of $100-some or more. And I think for 89 bucks, you know, I would expect something like this to be like $120, $130. But at this price point, you really can't beat this. The build quality is great. No deck flex or anything like that. What is it doing? Yeah, I have no idea what that's all about. Let me check here. Huh. I think maybe it has to do with my remapping of the modifier keys here. Let's see here. Command key. So command is command. Option is option. Okay. Yeah, it's just acting kind of weird here. Anyway, in conclusion, guys, I love this keyboard. I'll leave a link in the description for where you can get this. I'm not being paid by them or anything like that. I just really like the keyboard. If you have a Mac, just know that this will work with a Mac. It's not purpose-built like some of those like DOS keyboards. There's a company called DOS Keyboard that makes like a special keyboard for Macs that's a mechanical keyboard. But keep in mind that's also going to be like $130 to $150 depending on which model you get. Even if you get the 10 keyless, I think it's going to be like $135 or $140 or something like that. So if you're looking at something that's going to be affordable, entry level, but still high quality, you really can't beat this keyboard. But anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like the video if you liked it. Give me some comments if you have any comments, questions, or anything else. And don't forget to subscribe.